There's a Confederate flag or a swastika. Whose rallies does it show up at? Whose rallies do they come out to? Who did they vote for?
I will be Donald Trump's most loyal advocate to make sure his nominees go to the Supreme Court.
Mark Potok with the Southern Poverty Law Center says racist groups of the past have gotten new life, like it or not, from Trump.
I think from the point of view of the radical right, Donald Trump has been playing a careful little game of footsie with them since the very beginning of the campaign.
So the Southern Poverty Law Center was founded in 1971 with the specific purpose of fighting racial discrimination and hate groups. In 1987, they sued the United Klans of America after Klansmen lynched a 19-year-old black man named Michael Donald in Mobile, Alabama. They won a $7 million verdict on behalf of his mother, and they bankrupted one of the largest Klan factions in the country. $7 million, by the way. They sold the Klan's national headquarters and handed that over to the grieving mother.
United States Supreme Court, 6 people, 0 out congressional representation for 26 million black Americans who live in the South. Half of this country's black population of 52 million people lives in the South.
Are you aware that Memphis is predominantly African American?
I am not.
So to my sponsor, who went to law school at the University of Memphis and lived there for 3 years, you're telling me you're not aware that Memphis is predominantly African American. Am I correct?
Senator Lamar, he's answered that.
Is the sponsor aware that Shelby County is predominantly African American?
I'm not aware.
Are you aware that Tennessee's 9th congressional district is the only majority African American congressional district in this state?
No, I have no knowledge of that.
Memphis is predominantly African American, correct?
I think you know the answer to that.
Yes or no?
I think you know the answer.
Is Shelby County predominantly African American?
You know the answer.
Tennessee's 9th congressional district is the only black congressional district in the state. Are you aware?
I don't. I'm not aware.
The Memphis proper area, the 9th congressional district, with this new proposal, how many districts will it be divided into?
There are 9 congressional districts on the map. The map speaks for itself. It's sitting right there in front of you.
For the people who don't have access to the map, could you answer the question?
The map is on our website. It's available.
Point of order, when a question is asked, surely members of the Senate will answer a question instead of pointing someone to look at something on a map. How many districts will be in Shelby County? Surely that's an answer that can be given.
So voters who were previously in a single majority black district would now be split into several districts, correct?
I don't know.
So how are you proposing a map and you don't know anything about it?
I know how the map is divided, but I don't know the racial makeup of the map.
But you understand that Memphis is predominantly African American. They're going to be split up.
I honestly do not know the answer to that. I do not know.
Who specifically drew these district lines then?
Senator Johnson and I are the sponsors of the maps.
You drew the map, but you can't tell me how many districts Memphis is going to be split into.
I don't know where the city boundaries of Memphis are. Shelby County on the map is clearly divided 3 ways.
Was the public given an opportunity to review or provide input before these lines were finalized or proposed?
These are the maps are between Senator Johnson and I. We drew the maps. We had interaction with the House of Representatives as well.
So you're establishing that before these maps were drawn, you all took no effort into hearing from the public.
The public is getting their opportunity at this moment.
Why are we redistricting now? Why are we doing this after regular session has already concluded?
There's an election this fall of who's going to control the House of Representatives. We want Republicans to maintain control of the House of Representatives.
I'll walk him out. Y'all going? Let go of me. Let go of me, sir. Now you got me all tied up. Sir, no. Now you got me all tied up. My brother ain't doing nothing to your Hey, he ain't doing nothing to your You don't walk out by yourself. Move back. What? Yeah, let Pearson go. What is wrong with you? What's wrong with you? You stupid mother.
At least 2 black lawmakers arrested for their opposition against the white state legislators eliminating black representation in the Tennessee legislature.
These maps are racist tools of white supremacy at the behest of the most powerful white supremacist in the United States of America, Donald J. Trump. Memphis is the most beautiful place on the planet. It's the place that raised me, my brothers, my parents, my grandmothers, and where my ancestors' bones rest. And what you are doing today is eviscerating the only black majority congressional district in our state because we are majority black. We are here because this Republican Party has to seek to steal elections and seats because the president and the party have refused to address the pain, the suffering, and the struggling of everyday Tennesseans. This is about attacking, targeting, and cracking District 9 into pieces for more political and racial dominance and white supremacy in the state of Tennessee. And we need to realize that the Calais decision that you all are basing your decisions off of, that gutted the Voting Rights Act, that Voting Rights Act was paid in blood. It was not just a parchment of paper signed into law. It was paid in blood on the Edmund Pettus Bridge, paid in blood by Medgar Evers, paid in blood by Fannie Lou Hamer. It's been paid in blood year over year, time after time, assassination after assassination, lynching after lynching, so that more people might be able to ascertain access to this constitutional democratic republic experiment that is currently being gutted and seeking to be gutted by this chamber, by this House, this Senate, and this state. What is happening here is immoral and wrong. And I was reading my Bible early this morning, asking God why this is happening. Why, again, does it seem that white supremacy is seeming to gain? Why, again, does it seem like the pillars of pain that we have felt and experienced for over 400 years in this country continue to rise again? And whispered in the words of this Bible and in the words of those ancestors that have gone before us is just these simple words: we're still here. We are still here. This nation, this state has legislated and legalized the worst things in humanity, including our enslavement, and we are still here. Right in this country where, as one black woman said, your clancestors enslaved us, denied us of our rights, called us 3/5 of a person, and yet we are still here. You put us on cotton plantations and tobacco plantations. You denied our human rights and our right to exist as children of God, and we are still here. You destroyed Tulsa. You killed and lynched black folks on poplar trees. Shelby County, Tennessee had the most lynchings of anywhere in this state where you're taking this district, and we are still here. You've had 3 strikes laws, mass incarceration, denied us of who we are, and we are still here. And today you'll take the only majority black district from us. But I want you to know, and I want my nephew, sons, and the future to know. No matter what you do, no matter how much you try and break us and make us bend and make us quit, we will still be here.